There we go. Yeah, I think so. All right. Hi, YouTube family. Hope you guys can hear us and see us, so let us know, because we're set up a little bit differently today than we normally are. I hope you guys are having an awesome Sunday. Philip is going to just get logged on here so we can see your comments. We're going to try this a little bit differently than we normally do today and do a little crafting project while we chat with you guys, and hopefully you guys can see us and hear us how we hope. Getting that all on there. I'm just going to give it a second here so we can make sure that you guys are all logged on and that we can see you from this end. Philip's going to relay any questions and stuff to me here while I'm working. See if we can figure this out.
Hi, YouTube family.
We missed you guys. We have had the last couple of days here. We live in Ontario, Canada, and the weather has been terrible. I'm not sure if you can see out our window, but it's pouring rain right now. We have actual weather advisories in our area. If you check the weather station, it does this little caution symbol because the weather has been so crummy. So we can't do any outdoor projects. We can't do anything in the camper because nothing's drying. And we've been itching to get at some projects that we already had planned to work on this week that were even aside from the camper and the front. And we haven't been able to do any of it the last couple of days. So we spent some time with the kids, a little more than normal. We got a whole bunch of projects done inside the house that we were looking at just getting kind of organized and put together. Some homeschooling. You know the like family to-do list that you never really get to because you don't have the time? Yeah, we've been doing that the last couple of days. So it's been such gloomy weather, but we've been in a cheery mood just knowing we're getting things done, and it feels so good to get things done on the to-do list. I don't know about you guys, but when you have that to-do list kind of looming, when you go to bed at night, you're thinking of all the things that you need to get done.
Oh, yeah.
And when I go to bed at night, my creative mind is going also, so it's like this like random jumble going on, and I need to think of like to-do list or creativity, and I prefer the creativity tab to be open at bedtime. So yeah, but thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I think that hopefully we have enough lights going. We tried to have every light going we possibly could, but with the gloomy weather, we're not getting a lot of natural light coming in, and it's evening here for us. So today we're going to work on a project that I want to have out on our front porch. If we get this one done, then we might do another project as well. We'll have to see what time it is when we kind of get to that point. But I created this, you can assume, yes, my favorite color green welcome sign. And I did this quite a while back when I was running my art studio to have a nice welcome sign outside that front door. And now that we've done the porch setup, I really want to change this and make it into a different color scheme because I love having a welcome sign out front, but it doesn't go with my yellow door and the porch that we've done. So if you missed our videos of our porch renovation, we sat, how long did we sit outside last night? It was terrible weather, and we sat outside for
2 hours at least.
At least.
Well, we sat outside for at least an hour with the boys.
Yeah.
And the pup.
All four of us and the pup were all on the front couch, which is great. The couch is big enough that we were all able to sit out there.
We all fit, which was perfect.
And that coffee table, nice and long, that we made in our last Trash to Treasure is actually great because it's long enough on that couch so we can all put our feet up on it and not have to be like wrestling for who's gonna get to sit with their feet up. And yeah, it was really nice. So we really enjoy our porch out there. It looks amazing. We still need to get a few more coats of paint on it, but due to the bad weather, we haven't been able to finish that. So the interior part of my door is actually still raw wood because I didn't want to get any white paint on the yellow door. So yeah, we still have some work to do. Planter boxes look amazing. They're holding up great. They're filling up with water. It's been raining. Those plants are really going to perk up when we get that warm weather. So yeah, pretty awesome. So what I did before coming on the live tonight was I actually used my Silhouette Cameo to create a stencil of welcome to be able to put on this 5-foot long sign. I chose, usually I really like doing 6-foot tall signs, but since it would be a waste for me not to just reuse this one, and I needed this one, a 5-foot one in front of the art room door back like about a year ago. This one was actually outside. I'm not sure if you can really see from where I am, but this was a distress board. I distressed it after I painted it. It sat outside for an entire year, all 4 seasons, and it looks like I just painted it. And I actually didn't even protect this sign because my grand opening of my studio happened, and I literally finished this like the day before and didn't even have time to put the clear coat on it in order for it to dry, and then forgot. And then it was winter, and I was like, oh, I guess we're going to see what it's going to look like in the spring. And it still looks new like I just did it, but the color scheme doesn't match. So I'm going to change this because we have the white exterior sunroom, and we have some black accents with the black hardware, and we're going to be doing a little bit of black accents inside my porch decor if my pillowcases that I ordered ever show up from Amazon.
Yeah, like you ordered those, what, 4 weeks ago?
I ordered pillow covers for the front porch, very boho style, Aztec kind of looking covers. I gave you guys a sneak peek in them in one of our last lives. Super inexpensive. I think there were like 6 pillowcases for $20 or $18 or something. So like, who knows what they're going to look like when they come, but they're for a porch with the kids and the pup out there. You know, we drink tea out there, having snacks and stuff. I'm okay that I'll probably have to replace them for next season, but I'm totally fine with that. But they have black and white and some tan and stuff in them with that bright yellow couch. And so I really want to do this kind of neutral, but I don't want to do your typical stained welcome sign. I don't want to have to resand this. So I'm going to paint this black while we're talking, and then I'm going to do a welcome on top of the black. So I'm going to paint it while we're just chatting and answering some of your questions, let it dry for a few minutes, and then be able to show you how I do the stenciling on it. Super easy. I just used a reusable container that I've had paint in before. I'm using Beauty Tone paint, and the color black I'm using is called Blackout. I usually have a hard time finding a black paint color that I really like. I've tried hundreds. Sometimes they look a little bit blue in certain light. Sometimes they look too brown or too gray. And sometimes even they have a purplish tinge to them. This is an amazing black because it looks like a true black. So it is just an interior-exterior paint. I'm not using chalk paint or anything fancy. Super inexpensive sample container. And I'm just going to paint it all black. I'm going to do all 3 sides. And then at the end, I'm going to actually flip it over because the best thing about these welcome signs is that you can flip them over and make them reversible. So I could put something for a different season or a different holiday on the back, and then just be able to flip it around to change the look of it if I want to. So I'm going to probably paint both sides black and do a different phrase on both sides. But we're going to start with the welcome because that's what I want to have up there first for our spring summer here. And by the way, I wanted to mention, oh, I'm like so itchy.
Aww.
I'm having really bad allergies. So if you see me rubbing my eyes, rubbing my nose, and my face, I'm having such bad seasonal allergies this year for the first time in my life. So I look like I'm super sleepy and my eyes are all red and scratching my face, and oh, who knew having allergies would be such a pain. I really had no idea when people told me they were suffering from seasonal allergies what that meant until this year, because I'm having a real hard go at them, so yeah. But I'm trying not to take anything, so it's my own fault.
If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments, and I'll pass it over to Elish, and then I'll keep painting while she answers your questions.
Ooh, fun. Okay. So one of the reasons why I wanted to do this was because I actually had this welcome sign sitting outside just the last day or so just to see if it was going to be the right size or if that's really what I wanted to have. But we have an internet box that is drilled onto the front of our house right beside that beautiful front door that we just posted. I'll try to show it in our video update for you this week. But I really want to cover that box. It's a gray box, has black wires. It's very tucked in on the house, but you can still really see it. And so I actually took a thing of white spray paint and spray painted it. I'm not sure if the company probably wanted me to or not, but they didn't even ask me and drilled this thing on the front of my house, and I hate that it stands out against our white house. So even though I spray painted it white, I want to just lean the welcome sign in front. It's just to the left of the sunroom door. It'll totally camouflage it so you won't even be able to see it, and then we put some gorgeous plants out there. And yeah, my hibiscus flower, did you go and see it?
No, not
okay,
yet.
my hibiscus plant that I put in one of our front planters, like probably 20 flowers showed up today, which was amazing. So even though it's gloomy out, they look super cheery out front, which I'm excited about. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way around here. I don't know what kind of weather you guys have been having where you live, but normally we have on and off weather this time of year here. But I don't think we normally have quite this much rain.
No.
We had a real test on if the camper's ceiling is really holding up because we've had so much rain, it's crazy, and we haven't had any leaks, so that's amazing.
Hi, Martin Hernandez. Glad you like our videos and glad they inspire you to keep busy and do lots of projects.
Okay, I'm going to try to paint the front here.
And
going
let's
on the
say, who else do we have?
Okay, so I'm using...
Hi, Cassie Bradley. Hi, Mama.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Winsome Woman Wanderer.
So I'm starting a new trend. In case any of you wish to follow me who have husbands at home, my new trend is called wear your husband's clothes while you stay at home.
Hi, Crystal.
I've been living in Philip's t-shirts and comfy clothes for like the last 2 weeks because we're just home and it's comfy. So new trend, wear your husband's clothes. All right, I'm gonna get the front here. So I'm actually out of all of my Alicia English brushes, but Philip and I are just placing an order to be able to get our next batch of brushes because we haven't been shipping due to everyone staying home.
Let me finish painting this.
Oh, you're going to stay painting and I'm going to read some of the questions? Yeah. Okay.
I love that.
Philip's going to... It doesn't matter if you flick it against the wall because the bottom of the wall is black anyways.
Oh my God. What are you saying? I'm going to flick it against the wall?
Oh, possibly. Okay. So I'm placing an order to get a new batch of the paintbrushes in so I can get a whole huge slew of them ready for you guys to start shipping out again in the next couple of weeks. And we just got our final paperwork to send over first thing tomorrow morning from Bunker Branding for all of our merch. So exciting.
Yeah.
If you hear any screaming coming from Ontario, Canada, it means we've gotten the link to our merch. Philip and I are so excited that we're hoping this week we get the link and that we'll be able to publish it for you guys. I know you guys are waiting. You've been so patient, so thank you so much for that. But we have 27 merch items coming. And I can't wait to order my own merch because we don't have any of it in our hands either.
No.
So it's super exciting.
We want it.
We have so many exciting things this month. So we have our merch launch. Hopefully all of my Etsy stuff will be getting back to shipping in the next, I would say, 3 weeks, which is amazing. I've been missing being able to fill all the orders. You guys keep sending me emails asking when is it going to come again, and I'm so sorry, but you know, these world issues happen and there's just nothing you can do about it, so thank you for your understanding. You guys have been loving my book, so I'm so excited. I have a little bestseller badge beside my book on my Etsy shop, so if you haven't read my book yet, please use coupon code YouTubeFamily for a 20% off coupon if you want to read my book. And I just can't believe I have a bestseller badge. I have all 5-star reviews on my book. So that's amazing news for this month.
The book is absolutely incredible. I mean, it's the only book I've ever read, and I love it. So I might read more books because I love Alicia's book so much.
Oh, my goodness. So we have our merch launch. We have later this week. How many more days? What day is it? 17th? 5 more days, and we're revealing our huge secret we've been keeping from you guys.
And
you're out of frame, so you're just like a sound effect in the background. Feels like bum, bum, bum. So we have our huge surprise on the 23rd, and I'll let you in on another surprise. Should we tell them the other surprise about that surprise?
Oh my gosh, you didn't put me in the first surprise.
Okay, so because when you get into our lives, you end up finding out information that you maybe would otherwise not get to know until we actually launch videos. But our surprise we've been telling you will be on May 23rd. Our surprise is actually happening now on the 22nd.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a surprise about our surprise. So this whole time, Philip knows what the surprise is, or so he thinks.
I thought I did.
He thought he knew what the surprise was. But I have a surprise about the surprise. So you guys are going to have to wait until Friday to find out what the surprise is. Because I can't even talk about it too much because I'm going to ruin my surprise and Philip thinks he knows about the surprise.
So I thought I was in on the surprise, but now I feel like I'm getting pranked and I don't even know the surprise. Because the clue she gave you guys last time we did the live, I had no idea. That's not what I whispered in her ear. So
oh my goodness.
We'll all be surprised. But apparently the surprise, which I thought was going to be a day later, is now a day earlier. I'm confused and I want to know just as much as YouTube family.
I'm being sneaky. Mom's asking, how did the painted carpet hold up on the stairs? So my exterior black paint I painted on the green carpeting on the porch hasn't budged at all. And I only did one coat, knowing that I would let it dry for a couple of days, or so I thought, because I didn't know it was going to rain for the last 4 days. But I haven't even put the second coat on it, and it's actually held up amazing. So I'm going to, when everything dries up in the next day or so, roll on a second coat when I do the rest of the painting on the sunroom. And yeah, I'm really thrilled with it. I put another carpet that we already had, an inside-outside carpet, on the porch underneath the yellow couch just for fun, because I couldn't resist starting to decorate in that space, even though I'm not done painting. Typical Alicia thing to do. And so it looks amazing because the rug that I'm using has black and white. So Crystal W said, do you have any suggestions on stripping a roll top desk? Painted. Stripping roll top desks it's so difficult. And it just depends on what the actual roll down part is made out of. If it's not real wood and it's more of a veneer covering, then you're not going to be able to strip it the way that you hope to be able to restain it anyways. So you could try a gel stain on it to change the color after you do a little bit of sanding. But honestly, the easiest thing to do for those, when I've done them in the past, is to paint them.
We've even had some where we thought it was solid wood, but the veneer was so good that once we started sanding it down, we noticed that it wasn't a solid piece of wood, but they used a solid piece of wood underneath the veneer. And so sometimes if you take that veneer off, and then you'll have a nice piece of wood to work with underneath. But again, you don't know, and then you're dealing with glue afterwards too. So sometimes the best solution is to just paint it.
Yeah.
It's tough because there's a lot of people that don't really believe in painting that type of furniture.
Yeah. And
so
I've gotten quite a few comments on the channel when I've done furniture refinishing projects before where people have said, oh my gosh, I can't believe you painted that beautiful hutch, for example.
Yeah.
And then I will explain that I don't paint all antique furniture. I'm not someone who's just like, let's just slap a coat of paint on this because that's just the trend or the thing to do. I've had lots of people come to me, commission pieces even, and said, I want this painted like this. And I'm like, oh, you really don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's in immaculate condition. Please keep it original. But on the other side of it, some of the hutches that we've done, even in the channel, on the videos, you really can't tell what damage is there or how the veneer is ruined or how it's coming up. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sherry Phoenix.
Thanks, Sherry Phoenix. Love you. Thank you.
That's amazing.
We appreciate your support. Any of the super chats or donations go towards the content on our channel. So thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. So yeah, I'm not an advocate for painting furniture.
I just want to say, like, when you choose to paint furniture, that's never your first choice, and you're always like, you always hesitate, and I'm usually the one that's like, you kind of have to do the piece justice. Yeah. And if you can't refinish it, Alicia's like, the only way to bring that piece back to life because it's so far gone is to give it a coat of paint and basically dress it up.
And I've actually painted only one piece my whole time of refinishing furniture over the past, I would say 7 years, 6-7 years that I've been refinishing furniture, I would say full time or, as part of my business.
Yeah.
I painted the TV stand that is actually underneath our TV right now. It is a veneer piece. It's a very, very unique looking piece. It's the only one I've ever seen. It was in really, really good condition, and I actually painted it for one of our videos for content.
It may have been my suggestion.
And at that time, because you know our story, I didn't have any other money to buy anything else that I could paint or restore or DIY on our channel that week. And I really needed to get a video going for you guys. And I said, fine, I really want to do a video. Let's paint it.
She might kick me in the shins every time she looks at it.
I painted it, and I hate it. And I love
such a strong word.
I never use that word.
Hate is such a strong word.
I love the cabinet. I'm so mad at myself that I painted it. So once in 7 years, I painted a piece that I regretted. Someone was asking, someone is asking if I ship brushes to Ireland. Yes, all of my brushes ship internationally, and all of the merch that's launching, it all ships internationally. And the prices for our shipping are really good for international shipping, so feel free to check out my Etsy shop when that happens again. I'm just trying to see. if I missed any comments here while we were talking.
I don't know the secret. I thought I knew the secret, and I don't know the secret. So, but I might know the secret, so I don't want to reveal anything because Alicia's being very confusing, and she's very sneaky. So, I don't want to reveal anything quite yet. If it is what it is, and she's just trying to do a double rollback play on me or something. So, I don't really know. You can't really be sure sometimes.
So I'm just going to let this paint dry and do maybe just like a quick swish over it just to make sure I kind of have all of the white lettering that was already there.
Crystal, definitely send a picture. I want to see what it looks like. Alicia wants to see.
Yeah, I'd love to see.
And then maybe we can give a better example of what you can do to it or just help you a little bit.
Can I tell them my other secret we were talking about today or no? My idea?
Do you want to whisper it in my ear?
Oh my gosh.
So another secret? No, you can tell them.
The one we were talking about for the back?
Oh, yeah. That's not a secret. That's super fun.
So I'm really, really excited. We actually were planning today, which is super fun. I was saying we have a lot of really exciting things that are happening on our channel this month. And I'm not sure whether or not, because it's halfway through the month, if this is going to be this month. I'm assuming it's going to start next month, just while we get things together and we get everything organized. I know that you guys have really, our YouTube family has really been asking me to have more items that are handmade items on my Etsy shop.
Yeah.
And I'll explain a couple of reasons why I don't have more things on there before I tell you what my idea is, which will be to have more things on there. So,
hi, Linda Mills.
Hi, Linda. When we started our YouTube channel, I didn't want my YouTube channel to be about having people purchase things to be able to benefit or be inspired by the content that was on our channel. And so our content has always been free. We don't have a Patreon page because I don't want people to feel like they have to donate in order to watch our channel. And I wanted to have some things on the Etsy shop that would just be a tool or something useful that people could use to be able to use and be able to create the items that we were making on our Etsy. For example,
or wear. Yeah.
So, for example, there's a file on our channel.
Thank Andrea Swanson.
Thank you, Angela Swanson. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. I wanted people to be able to go to the Etsy and just be able to have something. That's a super cute cat. Have something that they could use as a tool to create something or be inspired to create something. So I'll use my very first example. One of my very first videos that went really, really popular was my Christmas crates. And that was actually the item that actually kept Philip afloat while we were, so while we were getting back on our feet, I got a lot of orders for this Christmas crate idea. And I wanted to share that idea with other people so that maybe in their local areas, they could also get orders and make extra money for their family. So I put the file for $2 on my Etsy and had people be able to get the file to be able to print out that specific stencil. So for me, I felt like I was just covering my time to be able to put the files up, and that was something that people were going to use. I had no idea that from that, we would have so many people wanting more designs that I had created, so on and so on and so on. And then I started using my paintbrushes, which I had just made for myself, because who doesn't want to paint with a gorgeous paintbrush?
Right.
And then I got hundreds and hundreds of messages of people asking to have the paintbrushes. So I added them to my Etsy because I did.
We love you back, Sherry Phoenix.
We love you back. Thank you so much. And so I never really wanted our channel to be about someone having to purchase something in order to be inspired or to follow our channel or have content to learn how to do new skills or even just be inspired by new skills. That being said, we have had an overwhelming number. I had to start a second email address because we're getting overwhelming amount of messages for people asking me to create some handmade items that they could buy for gifts or for themselves or something that actually was made by me in the shop or by Philip and I in the shop. And so you guys have also been asking me, oh, thank you, Crystal W.
Thank you,
Crystal
so much.
Sorry, before I go any further, I just wanted to go back here and address something that was just on the channel here. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Vicky Witchman, I just wanted to send you my love and support. I know that maybe things aren't always easy, but keep your chin up, and if you ever need something, just send me an email. If you need a chat, AliciaEnglish@hotmail. I know from my own personal experience what you're going through, and just know that we're here on the other side to support you. So we love you.
Keep the fight. Keep your head up.
Thank you for being part of our journey. We appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much, Tina.
Tina, Ziemba.
Love you. Thank you so much.
You are amazing.
I love the emojis that come on. So I never wanted my channel to be about something that you guys had to purchase something in order to be inspired or to see our content. And so I haven't done a whole lot of things on my Etsy shop. We had the paintbrushes and aprons. I really wanted to write my book. I knew it would inspire other people, and that would be a way that we could use some of the proceeds of my book to be able to continue making content, and that's what we do. And aside from some other things that we do with our YouTube to be able to create a revenue for our family. You guys have been so overwhelmingly asking me for more items, and I'm really working behind the scenes to be able to get what I think are meaningful items to be able to put on our Etsy shop that I think you guys are really going to like, and that we can do good things with this type of content. And so I have decided, which is our exciting thing that I know we're going to probably need the next couple of weeks to get everything organized, but I've decided that I am going to add things to an online shop on my Etsy. These items will all be made by me and Philip, because Philip is always helping me in the shop, obviously. So they'll be made by our family, and they'll be created for specific things. Can you switch it to the other screen now that you... Sorry, he's just admitting the chat. So in order to do that...
Thanks, 84 Parsons.
Thanks, 84 Parsons. I need a space to be able to do that. And I really want to create a space. I don't want a store. I know you guys were asking the last live if having a store is something that I want to do. I don't want to have a storefront with a front door where people come in and I have to spend my time in the store or hire someone to sit in the store and create things for that shop because I have to. I've done seasonal things where I have to make, 800 of something. And that's not how I like to create. I like to create more one-of-a-kind items where I can put my love and care into each item and create what I want or what I'm inspired to create and hope that other people can be inspired by those items as well. I don't want to make 800 of the same thing. And so I don't want what you would consider a storefront or a traditional store. But I do want to be able to offer more one-of-a-kind handmade items that I make and design and that are all my own, care, love, and design into. And so Philip thought that it would be a great idea for us to build and create a space on our property where I can stage and set up all of these things that I'm going to create in one spot and be able to build basically a store for my online store, which will be no overhead. It'll just be the overhead of the build, and I'll be able to set it up however I want. We'll be able to do our lives in there. We can be able to do create with me's in there, and be able to do a lot of different things. And so we decided today, we actually contacted our home hardware. Welcome to our family,
Colleen Smith.
That to get all the supplies, and we are going to build a building in our backyard. It's not going to be huge. We're limited to how big this can be in our backyard because we're in town.
Like a 10 by 10 or a 10 by 12, something in that, like a she shed of some sort. Yeah, kind of
like a she shed. But keep in mind, I'm not someone that's going to relax in my she shed. So this is going to be more of a space where I'll be able to package up my items for my Etsy. I won't be creating in this space, but this will be the space where these things will be displayed. And then I'll be able to maybe a couple times a year have an open house or something where people can come and purchase right from the space, or we can do the sales of just everything online. I haven't exactly figured out entirely how it's going to go, but I think it's pretty exciting. And then we'll be able to show you guys the process of building all of it and putting all that together and creating the items that will be in the store. And yeah, I think it's super exciting. So let me know what you think. If you think that's a good idea, if you want to see that content of me opening up this and how I'm going to implement all of this, and what types of items would you guys like to see me have that you're specifically looking for. I have a whole line of a couple different tangible items.
Yeah.
And then also keep in mind that I know a lot of you really, really want me to be able to ship wood signs. I've done wood signs for a long time, and I want to be able to make tangible items that are not going to be really expensive to ship. And so
Crystal wants to do a personal FaceTime session with how to do this DIY.
Sounds good. So I'm just waiting for this paint to still dry for a couple minutes here. With the humidity of all the rain, everything is taking extra time to dry because normally this will have been dry by now. So we're looking at doing that in the back. And so I think what we're going to do is we are going to, we have maybe one more day finishing our porch. We'll probably do that off camera because we're just going to be painting coats of paint. We're going to be getting back into the camper this week.
Yes.
Please, rain, go away because
yes, I've been itching to just get back in there and take down all the wallpaper that's left, and I just wake up every day going, when can I get that? What day is it? What day is it? Just so I can get in there and finish.
It's a time-consuming project to do, and we've been so stifled with the weather. It's either too cold or too wet. And it's not that we don't want to be out in the rain or we don't want to be out where it's cold, because we've been sitting in there with a heater for the past several weeks, but nothing's drying. We can't do caulking. We can't put the sealant on the bathtub. We can't even get anything off the walls or paint anything else to get us to the next steps. And we really need to do the sealant on the roof, which we have all the materials here. We just can't get to the project. So it's been a little bit of a problem. But while this is still drying, I'm doing the good old Campbell's soup can. If you can see this, I'm holding my sign up off the table with soup cans to keep it off the ground. So I'm going to, I used my silhouette to be able to.
I may have painted the soup
can.
Oh,
Phil painted the side of the soup can. And so I know this is clear and you can't see it, but I've cut out the word welcome on my cameo, and I'm going to use a pin and take out all of the lettering. And I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to take out. So I've taken out my W here. I actually can't get any vinyl to the house right now because I really wanted to use colored vinyl to show you guys what I'm doing, but I can't get supplies, which is kind of difficult.
Hi, Barbara Shipley.
And so I'm going to just remove all of the letters. So I'm going to do this while my paint is drying.
I'll create a "what day is it" emoji for sure tonight. I will. That's such a great idea.
YouTube just gave us access to being able to make more emojis because we now have more members in our membership program. So we were limited to how many we could have at the beginning, but now that we have grown in members, we're allowed to have other features. So we'll be able to add a few more on here. Can't get this off. I'm fighting with my vinyl because I changed my settings. So I have a new Silhouette Cameo 4. Silhouette sent me a Cameo, and I sent my Cameo that I had, my Silhouette 3, I sent that to Drea Humphreys of Clueless Mama DIY. She has a channel on YouTube. And so I'm just getting to learn my new Silhouette Cameo 4, and all of my cut settings are a little bit different than when I had the 3. And so I actually ruined a huge piece of vinyl today trying to print something for our video that's tomorrow because I couldn't get my cut settings right because it's just a little bit different than my 3. But I hope that Drea is enjoying her Silhouette. Super fun. You're removing all my letters. Philip's a pro at sign making because in busy season at Christmas, Philip was making signs and weeding out all the lettering and getting a whole bunch of stuff going. What do I do with my scissors?
Have you ever used Beauty Tone furniture and cabinet paint?
I haven't used the actual Beauty Tone furniture and cabinet paint, but I hear good things about it. I just use their signature series paint when I'm doing something, but I have heard that they have really great reviews on that paint, but I haven't had a reason to try it yet, so I'll have to pick some up and give it a go. Hold that for me. So I'm just cutting the sides off. This is much wider, so I have a lot of excess to work with, so I'm just going to cut a little bit of my side off. That way, when I'm actually putting it onto my wood, I'm not struggling with a lot of extra. Maybe you can't really see what I'm doing right now. I'm literally just cutting a strip off the side of my vinyl here.
How do you get to the member program? And
okay,
what is your member program?
Hi,
Sharon Bennett.
Hi, Sharon. Our membership program. Oh, did I cut it? Oh, no. I thought it slid and I cut my letter. So joining our membership program is beside... Oh, I will do an update on our YouTube members map. We'll try to remember to do it this week in one of our videos.
Yeah.
To join our membership program, on our main channel page, youtube.com/Alicia English, beside the word subscribed or subscribe, you'll see a button that says join. And it will let you choose whether or not you want to be a level 1 or level 2 in our membership program. And there's different perks to each one. There'll be a little video there that's me talking about what you get for each of the perks. And I removed the third perk, which was a shipping item out. Because of all of the world issues, I'm not able to ship anything at this time, so I don't have a third tier. So if you see that, you won't be able to actually access that. Welcome to our membership, Tabitha. No, there was no one else that I joined to turn me up. Oh, thank you so much, Colleen, for all of your support. We really appreciate it. There's no one else that I joined. I'm so glad that you chose to join our membership program. we always love seeing your name come up.
We're sending lots of love and lots of hugs to you, Colleen.
It's harder for me to see all the messages when I'm trying to do something.
Welcome, Tabitha Warren.
I'm just cutting this side off here. My letters are down the middle of my vinyl because it cuts 12 inches long, so it gives you a lot of excess on the vinyl here, which I can't really use for anything else right this second. So, okay, so I now have my welcome. It's written all the way down, which you probably can't see, but maybe you can see just a little bit here where the light shades. So I have the word welcome all the way down, and I've cut a 5-foot long strip. So the tip when you're using a Silhouette Cameo or a cut machine, if you have one, is cut with no cut mat, and you can cut as long as you want. So you just need to change your settings to cutting with no cut mat.
Suzanne would like to do a silhouette workshop one day.
Oh yeah, we can for sure do that, Suzanne. That's a great idea. I'll put that on our to-do list. You need a cord, or you're gonna. I think there's one on the TV stand. Philip's iPad's dying, so we're gonna get a cord. When you take your kid's iPad, so you can use it for the live, and they don't have a charge. My paint is taking extra time to dry. It's so sticky in the house today. Did you get it? Oh, yeah. The black extension cord is right behind the TV plant. The black one. It fell right behind there. There you go. I was hiding the cord from the dog today. I just want to make sure. The kids scream when they heard your name. Oh, that's so cute. Hi, kids. Super fun. Okay, what transfer paper do I use? So what I do is when you cut through your cut machine, your machine, or the one I have at least, will only let me cut 12 inches wide. And so the rolls that I purchase are actually 16 inches wide. And so I end up with a piece off the side, which is about 4 inches wide. And so what I do is I just use this excess piece to have as my piece of transfer tape. That way I don't have any additional cost. I'm going to show you how I do that in a second here. My paint is just taking an extra few minutes to dry here for some reason. It's super sticky out. And then I can actually reuse it quite a few times, just the same as if I was buying transfer tape. And I know that transfer tape can actually be quite costly. So I get a 20-foot roll of contact paper for $9.97 plus tax. And that's my vinyl and my transfer tape. So I don't have to purchase anything extra to be able to use it in my Silhouette, which is amazing.
Linda Mills will gladly trade our rain for your big hot sun any day. I'll try and set that up tonight and get it shipped right over to you. Send her all the way down south.
Aww. I have 2 shiny spots. I have to wait. Waiting for paint to dry, really, not so exciting.
Hi, Queen Bee.
Hi, Queen Bee. So yeah, so we're really excited about some of the things we have. So we have our surprise at the end of this week. We have our merch launching hopefully this week, if not early next week. We have more of our camper renovation. I really want to get the bedroom and the bathroom done in that space. And I really want to order the bedding and stuff that I need for that space also, but I'm having a hard time getting the stuff that I want. So I'm hoping that maybe as things start opening up a little bit, I'll be able to order what it is I actually want for that space, because I don't want to just order items on, say, Amazon or something and wait 6 or so weeks for them like I have with my pillow covers, because when we're in Canada here, it's seemingly taking a lot longer for me to be able to get the supplies. But there's some bedding and stuff that I really want to get for that space, and I don't want to just get stuff just to get stuff. I want to get the stuff I really wanted. So Mom
says 2 more days of rain, but I just sent our rain to Florida, so that can't possibly be the truth.
So fun. So the other day I had to pick up something at our pharmacy, and so I actually asked them if they would curbside pick up me some makeup sponges. You know I don't wear makeup, so they're only for crafting. But these aren't normally the ones that I use. These are very similar, but they're a little more spongy than the ones that I usually get. But they're going to do the trick. They're, when you can't get the supplies you normally use, you have to use other things. But I do use these white makeup sponge wedges to be able to put my lettering on. Oh, thank you, Crystal W. Thank you. We appreciate your support.
Thank you, Crystal Waldeck.
And so I use these to sponge on my paint. And the reason why I don't use a brush when I'm actually applying on my paint is because all it does is push the paint underneath where you've created a stencil. And so when you're using a one-time use stencil, you don't want all the paint to bleed underneath, or then you have to go around and use a thin paintbrush and touch it all up. I want to pull it off, my lettering be crisp, and then I'm done with it. I don't know how many of you have seen my how to paint signs with no bleeding, but I'm going to share some of the tips on how to do that while I'm working on this if my paint ever dries. But there's a great tip that I wish I would have known at the very beginning when I was making signs, but no one wants to tell you the secrets on making really precise, crisp line signs because they think you're going to like take their business away or something. But I learned the hard way after many, many trial and error attempts and found a tip that really, really works. So I want you to try it if you want to make some of your own signs.
Claire is watching us from the UK right now, probably in the middle of the night.
Is it like 3 a.m. where you are?
Early morning. And she says thanks for the macrame video that she recently watched. And other people are wanting you to do more macrame. And I think Alicia wants to do more macrame too, very shortly.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get to some other macrame. I actually picked up some white colored, it's not really jute, but more like a rope yarn stuff. I'm making up words. A rope yarn to be able to make something macrame. So I'll probably get to it this week actually, which would be super fun. I have a video that we're doing for tomorrow that I think you guys are really going to like. That's something that you could make probably on hand with things that you have in your own home. Because I know we're all like stuck home and we're bored and maybe you're looking for a project to do. So I'm excited about tomorrow's video. So if you don't watch all of my videos, which you should, check out tomorrow's video because I think it's really fun. I'm probably going to make a whole lot more of this, and once I made one, I knew that I had to make a bunch more and in different ways. So check out our videos.
84 Parsons says it's only 1:41 in the morning.
Are you keeping that black? Someone's asking me if I'm keeping this black. No, I didn't just paint a black board. I'm going to put words on it, but as you can see, I still have some shiny spots, and it's deciding to take 5 years to dry. So maybe by the time I turn 40, this will dry. Okay, I'm going to try to get over this a little bit here, or at least spread this out so it will go. We'll start from that end maybe. So what I'm going to do is use my piece of transfer tape.
Lois Irwin says I need to get my best friend the heat gun out to help dry this
right?
up. It's only, I think, it's my like spot right here.
It's only where Philip painted that's still wet, but I wasn't going to call him out.
Did I use too much paint? When I was putting it down, I was like, I'm totally going to get called for this.
So I'm going to use the piece that was 4 inches that I cut off and actually run this along the length of my
Welcome, Tamara Sanders.
Welcome. Thank you for your support. So we also use, so any of the donations and super chats, they all get put towards our content, and any of the revenue that we make from our membership program, we use that all for supplies and materials to put towards our content. So it helps our videos and our content tremendously when you guys support. So thank you very, very much for thinking of our family.
Linda Lacey says, what did you do tonight? I watched paint dry, right?
Our lives are so exciting you get to watch paint dry. Okay, so I'm going to use this 4-inch piece, and I'm going to run it down the centering of my lettering because I have nice, big, bold block letters. I don't need to do 2 strips side by side, but if you have a wider image and you have fine, smaller font or detailed cursive, you'll want to put 2 4-inch strips side by side or a wider piece of transfer tape. I always use my end pieces, so I'll just line 2 or 3 side by side if I have to, because otherwise this part just gets thrown out. I can't run this through my camera.
Rose Douglas, you are so sweet, and we love that you're here chatting with us.
Thank you. So all I do is remove this contact paper backing. Philip gives me crap because I use my teeth.
Be Beauty, you are a great teacher.
And then I just take off this grid. It has a light blue grid on the back. And I'm going to take it all the way off. It should be pretty much the same length as my welcome sign. Or maybe it's 12 feet longer because... All right, I'm going to cut beyond here. Am I going to take you? And then what I do, can you flip that over? I usually do this. A good tip when you're doing a welcome sign is to work whoopsie.
That was my fault.
To work standing up so your board is actually straight up and down against a wall or something so you can work. But just for the sake of the fact that we're working in our dining room, I'm going to turn this over.
Hi, Ruth. Welcome. We're making a welcome sign to welcome you.
And all I'm doing is I'm laying it down the center of my lettering. I'm going to hold it up and show you in a second here. Don't worry if it's off, not straight, or if it has a little bubble in it because it's going to get pulled off.
Crystal, don't make me hungry right now. We don't need to get in the food talk right now,
Mystery Man was talking about popcorn right when the live started, and I'm like, we always turn into a food vlog. Okay, so all I did was I took...
Sherry Phoenix teeth are God's best creation.
I took my welcome word that I had, I put my clear contact paper on top, and then I'm just going to push it down so it's a little bit stuck on, a little more there. And then I have my original stencil paper backing that I need to remove. So I'm going to take that off. Once you do this a few times, it gets a lot easier. And like I said, when you work up and down instead of on a flat table, it's actually a lot easier when you're doing welcome signs, whether they're 4 feet or 6 feet. Doesn't really matter. Working straight up and down is always easiest, but limited to where we're working today. Our live will not load if we work in the art studio, so we're working in the dining room here. All right. And then once I get the paper backing off, I'm totally out of frame here. All right, my paper backing. Oh, I forgot a little piece here. No, don't peel it off. Oh, I thought you were peeling it off.
No.
Okay, so then all I have to do is flip it over so that my sticky side is down, and then I can lay it on my sign where I want it to go. And so this is where working on it standing straight up and down is going to be in your favor, because you'll be able to see what parts are level, and if your lettering is on equal side. I have done hundreds and hundreds of welcome signs. And once in a while you get one that's like slightly off if you're working in batches and you kind of get tired and you're working on it, but these are incredibly easy to get centered. So if you're looking at doing a starter sign, although welcome signs are large, they're one of the easiest signs to create. So big bold letters, easiest for weeding out, they're easiest to get level and straight, they're the easiest to figure out the dimensions for. So if you want to work on a sign to start, welcome signs are the easiest. So I'm going to go on this side to make sure that my...
Lady Chris Berry, I pulled wild chives in the rain. Never planned chives in a flower, but I've been pulling them for 10 years.
Oh, no.
I feel you. I'm always the one out there pulling.
There were tons in our garden.
Yeah, I'm always out pulling weeds in our garden. I pull, and then every 2 days I'm out there pulling and making sure the garden's nice and clean. Because those suckers will come in and they'll just take over, take all my nutrients.
Our front garden was covered in chives and we had to get them out. Okay, so what I've done is I have centered and put my welcome W at the top, my E's at the end, and I made sure that I didn't have a lot of space on the top or bottom. I'm not planning on putting a planter or anything at the bottom of this, but if you are planning on putting a planter box or flowers or something in front, you won't be able to see the bottom letter if you don't leave a block of space at the end. And so sometimes I leave a 1 foot space at the bottom, and I work from the top down and just maybe make my stencil only 5 feet long if I want to have a 6 foot long sign. That way, if you put flowers along the bottom or a planter box or fall mums or something, you can still see the whole word welcome and you don't block it with your flowers. But I'm not putting anything in front of mine.
You know that this is straight because I helped, right?
Yeah, this is not straight because
No, this is. It wouldn't be as straight if I wasn't here just sitting here.
Okay, the other suggestion that I have, which I didn't do here because I'm working in the dining room, is you can do a really light sand over your paint with a 220 grit sandpaper before you apply your contact paper. That way it will stick a lot better, but mine should stick fine. It's not overly, And then
I haven't gotten started on the garden because it's just a mud pit right now.
Pouring,
I have before in the past turned the dirt at least once or twice in the rain just to get everything mixed in very nice, but I'm planning on doing it throughout the week. So it is coming.
We're going to include you guys in our garden transformation.
I was wanting to get in there this weekend, but the
weather's been
so upsetting. So, but I am going to do some above garden beds.
He told me today, he's like, we're doing the raised garden beds. So.
I am doing above raised garden beds. I don't know how many, but
we're going to do a few for sure. Okay, so I have my...
Crystal sending vibes. You're sending vibes back, Crystal.
So I have my stencil here. I have my contact transfer tape on top. And now I need to remove that 4-inch strip. So I'm just going to slowly work my way down. Sometimes you have to grab the letters a little bit if they peel up on the one spot, but it should be really easy to get off. And sometimes working on a little bit of an angle when you're pulling your contact paper off works in your favor.
Everyone's saying, hi, Jackson Stackpole. He's been wanting me to shoot him out.
Hi, Jackson.
Hi, Jackson. How you doing?
All right, so I'm going to get this off, and I'm going to try not to get Phil's beard stuck in my contact paper along the way here.
Mom's saying, yay, raised garden beds. I knew you'd be down.
All right.
Would you like me to help so it's perfect?
No, I want you not to get your beard stuck in it.
Right.
I just feel like I'm going to get his arm hair or his beard stuck in it as I go here. Look. All right.
There's nothing like a good old beard waxing.
Good old beard waxing? Okay, so now I have just my letters.
He's sending a heart. He loved the shout out.
Awesome. Okay, so I have now, I'm going to hold this up so you guys can see. I now have
84 Parsons, me too, brother. I am a night owl.
All right. I'm going to just cut. This is sticking to my plastic coffee table, or plastic. I put a plastic over our dining table. Okay, so now I have my welcome stencil.
I love Phil pretends he knows what he's doing and does what he is told.
He actually can make a really, really good sign. It's just, we're working in the dining room, and I have a silly plastic table cover on the dining room table so I don't get black paint on our nice wood tabletop. And so we're working in like a really confined spot here. So you can see I have my stencil ready on here. I almost dropped it. Ready, and I'm ready to apply my paint. So there's a huge contrast in color, obviously, between white and black. And so if I had my lettering and my lettering looked sloppy underneath and I had bleeding, is what I call it, when the paint pushes underneath the shapes of the letters, it's going to really stand out and look sloppy. So I want this to be incredibly crisp. And so in order to do that, my tip for you for painting signs with no bleeding is actually, seems kind of silly in the beginning, but it will work out really, really well, and you'll have amazingly crisp signs. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the same black that I used for the background. And this seems so silly to do the same color that you actually painted the back. But what this is going to do is it's going to seal the edges of all of the lettering so that when I do the actual color that I want the letters to be, that color won't be what I've bled underneath. The black will bleed underneath, but then you won't even see it. It's going to dry because the background is already black. So I'm going to take a clean sponge and my black paint, and I'm going to sponge over all of my letters and basically create a sealed edge all the way around the whole words.
Julianne says, I got 3/4 of the fence done and ran out of paint and can't get the same color.
Oh,
now
no.
For the love of money. If you can, somehow, if you can get a paint chip or a little bit from the can, put it on a piece of paper, most places can take...
On a white piece of paper.
On a white
pure
piece
white piece of paper.
Yeah, pure white piece of paper, and take it into a paint specialist. They should be able to match it if you have a good enough piece or swatch that they can take from.
So
that's the best solution I can give. And usually it comes out fairly good where you can mix in the first 3 feet or so and no one will ever know.
I know places like Home Hardware, if I have a client that's given me maybe a little piece of a knob off of a piece of furniture and they want the rest of the furniture painted that color, or if they want, Margie, our shirts are not available yet, but we're hoping this week. We have our last paperwork we just printed tonight, ready to send to them off tomorrow morning.
They just needed some information.
For like our banking and stuff, yeah. We're going to send everything through for us. So everything that we've got is like paid for and done with our merch. We're just waiting for the link for the site, and then we'll be able to give it to you. We don't have any of our merch actually like on hand yet either. So as soon as we get the link, we're not going to wait until we have it in our hands. We're going to get it shipped out to you guys right away. So appreciate your support, though. I'm glad you're excited about it. So I'm going to go over all these letters and make sure that all of my edges are nice and crisp, and then I'll be able to go over with my white paint. I'm just using a little bit of paint.
Why are you painting black on black?
Were you listening to the tip on how to paint signs and no bleeding?
I was reading our YouTube family. This seems counterproductive. Okay.
So I'm painting, if you're just joining the live, I'm painting my first letters black, the same color as the background. So if I was to pull this up, it will look like I did absolutely nothing. I know it seems completely silly, but I promise this is the magical tip on how to make signs that will have no bleeding. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pretend like I have all of these completely black because I don't want to wait while we're on the live to be able to do it. Once you do hundreds of these signs, you don't have to do this magical tip. It'll just be nice and clear for you, and you'll get used to it. But I'm going to use my white paint because I'm going to do my lettering white, and I'm going to use very minimal amount of paint. And when I say minimal, I mean you're going to have to go a couple of coats over. Not everyone kind of knows really how minimal when we say use minimal paint. And then what I'm doing is I'm going to use some of the excess vinyl that's not where my lettering is to blot off my sponge so that I have even less on my sponge. And then I'm going to start going over my lettering.
Hi, Mary Jones.
And when you're sponging, what you want to do is not push to expel the paint out. You want to just have enough paint on the sponge that when you just touch the wood, that the paint comes out. If you're pushing down with your finger and like compressing the sponge, then what you're going to do is push the paint underneath the lettering, and you don't want that. So I am using sponges right now that I don't normally use. This isn't the brand that I normally use, but since I had to get these just in your makeup section at the pharmacy, I'm hoping that this will turn out the same quality as when I use the sponges that I really like. It's unfortunate when there's materials that you really, really like and that you use and rely on most often that you can't get them, but this should work out just fine. So I'm going to go over all of my letters. And if you want to do a different color, you can do whatever colors you want, but I think the black and white is going to look nice with the bright yellow door we did, and we have lots of greenery and white and yellow in the garden now with the colors we put out there. And when all of our landscaping comes in, because we had a lot of comments about that our garden's dead.
Yeah.
So the trees and everything that you guys saw in the video, winter's just ending for us or has just ended for us here. And so I don't actually have, we are just starting to get blooms in. So that tree that looks like it's dying on the front lawn, it's not. It's a mulberry tree, and it will actually start getting buds probably this week or next week. And all of my hydrangeas that whole front garden is filled with gorgeous hydrangeas and hostas. So even though the garden looked like it was super dead, we have so much that's going to come up. I haven't planted anything in that front garden, so I'm so excited in the next like 2-3 weeks to show you guys how full my front garden is, because you're going to be like, wow, like it won't even look like the same house in another couple days.
I even went running in the rain in the backyard with the poocher today, and all our hostas in the backyard are like 6 inches taller than they were just the other day. So the rain, they're just soaking up all the rain, and everything is just coming out. And all the beautiful plants that we planted around the pond are all coming up right now.
So last year we planted quite a few plants, but when you first plant them, you don't know what's going to take and what's not for the following year. So we're excited to see a lot of our plants that we planted by the pond to come up again this year. So, all right, I'm working my way around this letters here.
Holloway Handbag, when did you know you had found your soulmate? I knew as soon as I saw her the night that we reintroduced since we were kids. For some weird reason, I just knew then that we were going to be together. And
funny enough, at that time, because we were 19, right? I was living at home, and back then nobody had cell phones. Everyone just had a landline. And I was typically not someone that would have been at a bar or anything anyways. And I certainly would never have given my phone number to my parents' house to some random guy at the bar. Like, that was just something that I would never have done. And I gave him my phone number.
Kind of.
Well, I gave him my phone number, but he didn't save the last digit.
Yeah, she made me work for it. I don't think she put it in.
It wasn't on purpose. And so he actually was able to get a hold of me. And when I saw at my parents' house that a P. English had called, I was like, oh my gosh, he actually called. No, I don't want you to do my letters.
I'll do it really nice.
These are new sponges. Are you gonna do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna do this half.
We'll team up. You read, and then I'll finish.
Okay. Like.
Watch this, YouTube family.
Oh my gosh.
I want you guys to say, is the bottom half better than the top half?
Oh my goodness. Mom's asking how tall her willow is. So I think you have some pieces, Mom, that are already maybe 3 feet tall. And they're starting to really fill out. So last year, when we planted the willow, the stalks would get maybe like a few vines off them. And they're bushing right now. I'll try to remember to get a picture of it for you.
If you haven't yet, leave a like for me painting.
Yeah, so the hydrangea, Deborah Rainey, sorry, I'm trying to sniffle and read and talk at the same time. I'm not multi-talented today. Deborah Rainey says she loves hydrangeas. So I have the beautiful puffy white ones.
I love hydrangeas.
And when we moved in, they were almost dead. And I had no idea what they really were. And I had no green thumb at all. We had never lived anywhere where we were able to have a garden. And the first year we saw just a few of them come up. So I figured out from one of the neighbors what it was that I actually had. And when I looked up hydrangeas, I looked up what I was supposed to do with them before winter so that they would hopefully revive the next year. And so it told me online to cut them way low and way back. And I thought, well, they're already next to dead and I really have nothing to lose. And I knew that I could get more plants for that front garden if for some reason they died, because they were already looking like they were not going to come back. And so I trimmed them really, really low, and I was so excited because the next year I got beautiful puffy white hydrangeas. It's okay, I'll do it at the end.
Whoops.
And so every year I do the same technique where I cut them back to about 16 inches tall. I hold my breath and I wait for the next year, and they've come back bigger and fuller and taller than every other year before. So it's amazing.
They're absolutely gorgeous.
84 persons didn't think that I was going to let you paint.
84 persons.
Oh, sorry. He said that you didn't know that you were going to, if I was going to let you do that.
She wasn't.
Sorry, 84 persons.
I put her on.
I knew you were a man. Sorry.
I put her on the spot.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, you guys, we're going to hopefully, Julianne, Eden, we're going to probably start the garden hopefully next week. We're just waiting for this rain to go away. So, we have a pretty busy weekend next weekend because our big surprise is Friday. So we'll probably spend quite a bit of time outside.
Yeah, maybe we can do the raised beds next weekend.
Yeah, maybe we can do that. Yeah. Oh no, you trust Philip to paint on your sign. Ruth doesn't have any confidence.
She doesn't.
Yeah, he already got a little bit of white paint on the sign.
No, I didn't.
Right here. Oh. I'll show you. I can fix it in the end. I'm calling you out. Nice dabbing there, Philip.
Thank you. I'm a professional dabber.
Philip, do it right. You have to have your tongue out a little bit to do it right.
Like Michael Jordan?
He did the big blob of paint. Yeah, so the Mako sponges are amazing to do sign painting with. And I know that there's like the actual sponge. Sorry, let me try that again. There's actual stencil brushes that you can use that you dab up and down that have the round end on them. I've actually never even used any of those because once I found and discovered that sponges, makeup sponges, these white ones, worked so wonderfully, I thought I could never go back. And so the brand that I normally use,
Are we making this faded?
I'm going to do another coat at the end.
Oh, right. Okay.
I actually had to use a different brand this time. I just have to, it's curling up because it's so humid.
Yeah, I would have done that. I would have got that.
Yeah, so using a different brand, it's seemingly working the same. I think when I actually lift it up, it's going to be just as crisp as always. So once you get the hang of using them, but if you're used to using a brush, this might be a big difference for you, but I think that this is a really, really effective way. You can actually just rinse these sponges out and use them time after time after time, so it's not something that you have to throw out all the time. The only time that I throw these out and don't reuse them and rinse them out is when I use a chalkboard paint, because it seems to leave these little particles in my sponge, and then it kind of leaves polka dots if I use it in another color or in another application.
It
hardens really quickly.
Yeah.
So I don't use these with chalkboard paint. I will use these with chalk paint or any other, hardware store paint, craft paint, acrylic paint, latex, inside, outside. Doesn't matter what other kind of paint. Just not with chalkboard paint.
Chalkboard paint has something in it that it makes it really hard so you can write on it with chalk. So I think it just dries really quick and you can't salvage the sponge.
Jennifer Coleman says she wishes her husband would get crafty with her, that you're a keeper. So I'll let you in on a little secret. Crafting isn't something that Philip would do if he didn't live with me. But he grew up with a mom that was always doing craft shows and doing crafty, creative, handmade things. So if I wasn't sitting here painting, it's not like Philip would be like, yeah, I'm going to go make a welcome sign and sponge paint all night. That's not his passion or his like hobby that he really likes to do. But when you're in a relationship and you're with someone that this is something that they like to do, he supports everything that I do. So showing interest in things that I'm interested in is something that, a way that he shows me how he cares about me, and then I do the same. If there's things that he likes that maybe I'm not so sure about, then me showing my interest in his things that he likes.
You'll see in my craftsmanship how much love, I have for Alicia.
Yeah, so Belinda Milborn says that welcome signs can be expensive. So let me tell you a little something about welcome signs. Welcome signs are incredibly expensive to buy already made. But as you can see from this live, we can make one of these signs for, you know, half hour worth of time. If I wasn't talking while I was doing it, I can make a welcome sign in about 20 minutes if I'm just right down working on it, painting it, putting the stencil on, and even sealing it. 20 minutes. This board is half of a 10-foot board that I purchased for $10 is when I buy the whole size board. So this was already cut to size, but I can buy the 10-foot board for between $10 and $12, which means that this actual sign piece only cost me between $5 and $6 with the taxes and everything to be able to. It's okay, we'll do it at the end when we take it off.
I got it.
Look, he's like gotta fix his little white thing or black mark here. So the actual cost to make one of these is typically between $5 and $7 with all your paint, and I'm using about 50 cents worth of vinyl. So if you figure that these signs often sell for between $60 and even $80, even plain like this, with just the 2 colors, you really do have a huge profit margin if you want to sell these for a part of your business or a hobby or just to make extra money. And they're very, very sought after. There are a lot of people that make them, but even though there's tons of people that make welcome signs, you'll notice that a lot of houses have them and that there's always people looking for them for every season. And I find that the more unique you make your colors, the more people will want to buy them. So I wouldn't necessarily sell a lot of black and white ones, although this is the color that I want. I do sell a lot of stain ones with the white writing on them. It's a very neutral, even gray stain with the white lettering on them. I also was selling, in the holiday time, I sold a ton of my buffalo plaid ones that I did.
Yes.
If you want to see how to do that, I have a spring colored buffalo plaid video on my channel, and then I also have a how to buffalo plaid video on my channel that shows you how to do the actual painted plaid. And because very few people know how to do it and very few people will take the time to do it and sell it, it's a really one-of-a-kind, unique item that you can offer as part of your handmade business if you have one, or even just have on your house as something unique that most people wouldn't have.
And I think
it's so rewarding when you make them.
And I think when you look at the pattern, you're like, oh, that's going to take hours. But if you follow Alicia's tutorial, it's super simple. It's so simple that I can make them. And if I can make them, then I know YouTube family, then you got it.
JD Foley says we could sell my Etsy shop FaceTime packages with Philip to talk to other husbands.
Like little one-on-one chats?
That might be my best business venture yet. Thanks, JD.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so Mother's Day is coming, or just passed, and Father's Day is coming, and, you know, your civic-type holidays, like we have Canada Day coming in the summertime. These signs sell extremely well during that time, and then again, they get really popular at that back-to-school, end of August, early fall time when people start decorating their houses for fall. And then you can have them where they're reversible, where you put a different pattern on the back side so that people can switch it over and then have another sign on the back, say for Christmas time or another holiday that they really like. And so it's amazing that, you know, how versatile these can be. I've seen them with, they're really, really cute where people just put hello instead of welcome. There's so many possibilities with these signs. I'm being super boring. I just like the typical welcome, but maybe that's because they made so many signs that I don't need something that's like, you know, super out there. I just want one like this. So I have my lettering. Philip did the bottom half for me.
Philip, your mom trained you right.
So we have.
Yeah, she did.
You can see that we have the word welcome and that we use some of the excess on the side here to blot off some of our paint to make sure that we were applying it really lightly. And I'm actually not wanting a super faded lettering look. And so one application of my sponging isn't going to be as crisp. My lettering's nice and crisp, but isn't going to be as bold from the road as I want. I don't want something that looks distressed. But if you just want a distressed, more farmhouse style, you can leave one coat of your stenciling sponge letters, and it's going to look a little bit faded. and it's going to be really, really nice. So there is a sign behind me here where I did a really soft faded lettering on the upper black. And then that was just one application. So I get that newsprint looking style lettering without doing a second coat of the background. But I want this to be really crisp white. I don't want it to be faded. So I'm going to do another pass over with my white paint. Again, using really light amount of paint and just sponge over it before I pull it off. And then I'll reveal to you how crisp these letters look at the end. And I'm going to start actually at the top here where I know it's already dry because Philip just finished the bottom. And...
oh, Brickhouse 67, that's so sad. You could put them in a jar, you could put them in the garden, or you could put a little sign in the garden or his favorite spot where he likes to sit and hang out outside if you have a garden.
And then occasionally, when you have long hair, you get one of your own hair stuck in your sign, like I just did. All right, so I'm going to pass over this. Okay, let me know in the comment section, because I wasn't able to see the comments at that time. What did you guys think of the idea for my shop in the back? Did you see comments? Because I wasn't looking at it at that time. Let me know what you guys think of me doing that. If you guys would want to see the build of building the whole store, and then obviously like getting the inventory and everything together and building all of the shelving and all of the display features and the, you know, business sign, like doing all of that. Like the whole process of starting that from start to finish is something that I could show you guys. So let me know what you think.
We'll pull it off when it's still wet.
I'm going to pull it off.
When Alicia's on her last coat, she'll rip it right off like a Band-Aid.
Like a Band-Aid.
Yeah, and then...
it doesn't really matter whether or not you pull it off while it's wet or while it's dry. The only time that I would say that it really, really matters is if you're using your little tubed acrylic paint, like the typical craft paint from the craft store. Which I'll tell you, I never buy that and I never use it. The only time I buy that is if like the kids are doing a craft or something and I don't care if they use like an umpteen amount of paint. I always use paint from a hardware store or something instead. I find that paint is super watery and it isn't going to give you the pigment or the durability that you want on something that you're going to put outside. I don't buy any of that for any of my crafting. So that is the only type of paint that I would say peel it off while it's wet, because what it sometimes does is actually, because it doesn't adhere to your surface very well, it will actually pull the background color right up with your plastic, which you obviously don't want. So I always pull when it's wet if I used that type of paint, but I don't, that's not the kind that I use. So.
Hi, Sherry Holmes.
So it's okay if you pull it while it's dry or wet. I wouldn't be overly worried about it. The other thing, too, is that you don't want to use so much paint that when you pull it off, it actually peels your letter with your vinyl, like you've created too tight of a seal. So I would say less paint is always better when you're stenciling anything. I'm just going to get a little bit more on this bottom here. Okay, I'm clearly sitting on the chair that's about to break, and I'm like freaking out that my chair is going to... Look at it.
That would be great. This one
I leaned on the other day, and I need to tighten it. Though. Great content. Phil wants to see me fall off a chair on our live. All right, we're going to try a different chair. I'm like freaking out on that one. All right.
Look how Chip and Joanna, here come Philip and Alicia.
Oh my goodness. All right. I'm almost done. I just have one more letter to do.
Yeah, 84 Parsons shipping container. We have an idea we want to do with a couple of shipping containers. So, but where we live, we don't think that we would be allowed to do a shipping container build on property. So
we live in town. So
in our town.
There's bylaws.
So there's bylaws. So unfortunately, a shipping container right now would be kind of out of the question. Although I would love to have a shipping container shipped here, start what we want to do in our future, and start a build. But unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to do that right now. But near future, that is definitely a possibility.
We're trying to somehow, magically...
Philip, you're not even reading. You are bad, Philip.
We're trying to somehow right now come up with enough of a budget to be able to purchase a property in a specific spot that we want to purchase it, and then be able to do shipping container home building on that property and be able to go through the whole process, building an off-grid, not necessarily tiny home, but tiny home off-grid eco-living on this site. And so we're hoping that in the next year or maybe hopefully even sooner, we'll be able to be making enough revenue that we can justify a project of that size.
Thanks, Judy Farmer.
Right? All right, so now that I have my welcome all sponged, it's still a little bit wet. It's totally fine. I am going to now, like a bad Band-Aid, as Philip said, I'm going to remove my stencil, and all I do...
Here's the big moment.
That's it. I just pull it up.
Oh, let me do this one.
And
Where'd the pin go?
We just have the center of our O that doesn't come up because it's the center. There's another pin right here. So then you just need to take up the center of your of any vowels that you have.
Shaky.
That's okay. All right, so then we have a really crisp welcome sign. I will come closer so you can see, but we have...
Really show that, oh, you're not showing the bottom.
There's the bottom. And I'm going to come closer so you guys can see how crisp the lettering is, if I can. All right, so you can see the lettering is super crisp. I don't have any bleeding of any of my lettering. Everything looks super crisp. So doing the magic technique with the coloring in the back gives you that really crisp line around the outside. And then what I can do is I'm going to wait for this to dry, and I am going to paint the back side, which is still green, and make it black so that I can put words on the back, something different for a different season. And then when it's totally dry, probably tomorrow I'll get to it, I can do a clear coat of a poly, indoor-outdoor poly, so that it can stay outside all year round. And
ta-da!
Yeah, ta-da!
Here, you should really just hold it up. Right
you want to go sideways?
Just
Oh, he wants to show you his work on the bottom, so you can...
That's really all you need to see, YouTube family. Everything else,
oh my goodness.
Just OME.
Don't hit the ceiling.
Oh, whoops. Then I'd have to paint that.
There you go.
Yeah, but I'm great at sponging. I rocked that out of the park.
So it really is super crisp. It turned out great. It's super easy to do. And like I said, these signs sell for, quite a lot. So if you wanted to make these to resell, the profit margin on this is quite large. And it doesn't take a very long time to do it. And what I like to do is I like to make them in batches if I'm going to sell them at a craft show. So what I'll do is say I'll buy 5 boards for $10 or $12 each, and then cut them all in half so that they're all 5 feet or 4 feet long, however I want to make them. And then paint all of my backgrounds. And then what you can do sometimes is move your welcome stencil. If you line them up side by side, I could have moved my stencil over and used it another time. I've even used them 3 or 4 times. If you can carefully move them over, you can actually redo them several times. So you have a fluff on you.
Are you trying to sabotage me?
It's a little
what is that?
Piece of wood or something. And so, yeah, it's amazing the amount of time that it really takes to do each one. If you're working in batches always, I could paint backgrounds different colors and have 6, 8, or 10 of these to take to a craft show for spending maybe between $60 and $70 to make a profit margin of usually about 10 times what I spend. So if I was to sell 10 of these, if they cost me $5 or $7, say $7 each to make, I'm spending $70 to make. If I sold 10 of them at $60 to make $600. So your profit margin for $70, changing it to $600 if you were to sell all of them, is a really good profit margin for a couple of hours worth of work. So really, really good, great profit margin. They're super popular. You can make them in any color. I think the versatility on different words is where you can really stand out. So.
Oh, handbag choked on her tea. I hope because it just turned out so perfect. Everyone's like, OME, that's a chant. We should put that on a t-shirt. Everyone, I just want to say our YouTube family is saying that I did such a great job.
I know, right?
Thank you, guys.
Goodness. You guys are awesome. Hit the like button if you think Philip did a great job.
Oh, look at it climb.
So good. Yeah, so these are super fun. I think this is going to look great outside my sunroom porch.
Tammy Lee, the What Day Is a T-shirt is coming.
I'm hoping this week we get our link. We're waiting. They've been short-staffed at Bunker. They've been really great at communicating with us. We're just waiting for that final link. We're sending them over first thing in the morning, our last signature for the banking aspect of doing our merch. And yeah, should be rolling out this week. So we're super excited because we don't have any of it for ourselves either. So do you sell them on your shop? If so, how would you ship them? So Paula, I don't actually ship any signs that are fully made on my Etsy shop right now. I used to have signs on an old Etsy shop that I had before I did YouTube. And the problem with that is that if I made a sign, say I made you a sign and it was a $40 sign, it would cost me $40 or more just in shipping to send that sign to you from where I live in Canada to say where you live in the USA. And so then if I wanted to send something to, say, my friend Wendy who lives in Australia, it would probably cost me several $100s to send Wendy a $40 sign. So I was unable to keep signs in my shop for the sole reason that I couldn't justify asking people to pay that shipping. And I know that that money for the shipping didn't come to me, but in my budget, our household budget, there's no way I would be able to spend $40 on a sign and $40 shipping. So it just didn't make sense to me to offer something that I knew I really couldn't offer at the price point that I felt was fair to people. Like our Canada Post shipping that we use, or even to use FedEx or UPS, the shipping takes several weeks and it is extremely expensive.
Shipping from Canada is a lot more money than shipping something from the US. We found our prices are a little higher. I don't know why that is. It just is what it is. Even for us to ship internally in Canada, our prices are extremely high.
So, for example, I shipped the box of the Silhouette Cameo, which is a 2-foot by 1-foot box. I shipped that to Drea Humphreys out. She lives to the other side of Canada from where we live. And it was almost $100 just to ship that Silhouette Cameo to her. And if I was going to ship that to the United States, where I shipped to Ariana Fitzgerald, who lives in the U.S., it was almost $200 for me to ship it to her in the U.S. for not a very big package. So the weight of the package and the size of it is a determining factor on some of the shipping. And to be able to ship the signs, if they're actually wood and the dimensions that they are, I just can't send them and justify the shipping. So I'm trying to work it out, so hopefully I can have a few on my shop, but I've got to figure out the shipping. That's the hard part.
So this sign right here is a 5-foot sign. And Elisha, normally, I think her welcome signs are usually a 6-foot sign. So this one was just a short one that we had over by the entrance to our mudroom, I believe.
Yeah, I had this over by the art room and by the mudroom. So, and what I would have sell this for, if I'm selling them, if I'm at a craft show, or if I'm selling them on, when I was just selling, say, on my local buy and sell site or on my Facebook business page, without shipping, because those were all pickup orders at that time. If I was selling a 5-foot sign, it would be $50. If I was selling a 6-foot sign, it would be $60, and those would be sealed and protected for outside. So if I do a 4-foot one, I would have charged $40. So you can just play it by ear on how you want to price it. And I know we have Canadian dollars also, so it might be a little bit different if you are in the US or in the UK or something. But from my Canadian price point standpoint, I usually went with that really simple pricing for these welcome signs. And another way to be able to price your signs is to do length times width times 2. So if I did a sign that was, I'm going to try
just
to
do something simple.
Yeah, a 10 by 10
right.
would be, it's so easy to be able to follow like a simple, if you actually, in my book, I have a whole section on pricing and how I determine my pricing and what factors do I put into my pricing for items for handmade. Because in my book, it's a creative guide to handmade business as well as my story. And so I think you'd find that really useful if you're looking at wanting to know how to sell things handmade, or if you want to, know how to price things at.
Easier way on how to price.
Yeah, and items. Tips on getting your materials for less money to be able to have a bigger profit margin. All of that kind of information is all in my book on my Etsy shop. So, yeah, shipping is terrible for sure. 10-foot sounds doable. Oh, $10 a foot sounds doable.
What is this one? 6 inches?
Yeah, so this one's actually 9 inches wide.
Inches?
And I've done them also where I've had requests for people to do the 12 inches wide, which is actually like 11 and a half inches when you buy the board. They might be called 8 foot by 12 inches, but this one is 9 inches wide. I think the 9-inch wide ones are really nice. They look nice with, pretty much any width of door. They're pretty much standard size. And this particular board that I can get, a 10-foot board for $10 to $12. If I cut it in half, I can make 2 5-foot boards. I can make $100 profit, I can sell 2 of them for $100, and my actual money that I put into it is up to $12. So I'm still making about $88 for every $12 that I spend. Pretty good for if I can make a couple of these you know, in 45 minutes or something. So
84
not bad.
Parsons, I'm about to turn the kettle on too. We're gonna have it. We already spoke. We're gonna have a late night tea out on the front porch.
Yeah.
Even though it's raining.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought the black and white for my porch was gonna look really nice, and I know that if I switch out what my decor is, black and white is just gonna match for me all year round, and then I can actually put something on the back. I may actually just put something Christmassy on the back. That way, I have something, because this welcome, I'd be fine having this with my fall decor or my Halloween decor or my spring decor or summer decor. So I think I might just put something Christmas on the back. That way I have an option that says something cute for that time instead of it just saying welcome. So there's a lot of possibilities. But I think if you are going to sell these, for example, if you are going to paint them double-sided, then you need to charge more for them than if you just did one side. So you might want to add an extra $10 or something on your price of your sign overall if it's reversible, because it's taking you more materials in your paint and vinyl, and it's also taking you more of your time to do the opposite side. I would also make sure that you paint the back side, even if you're not going to put words on it. Make sure that the back side is painted, because it helps seal the wood, and it just makes it look more cohesive when you have the back finish. Then it's not going to look unfinished on the back. I don't do that with all of my signs. If it's a sign that's going to hang on the wall, I don't paint the back side. I'll leave it raw wood, and I can put my monogram stamp that says that I made it on the back. But the welcome signs, I always make sure the back is painted because it's for outside. So
hi, Cobwebs and Bristols.
Hello. See the vinyl. Did you see any messages about? Oh, Judy Haynes said. Oh, sorry. Suzanne is saying you have a book. Yes. So if you go to my Etsy shop, Elisha English, I have a book. It's called Creating a Life You Love. If you use coupon code YouTube Family, you can save 20% on my book. In any of the descriptions on our videos on our channel, you can see the link for the Etsy shop on there. And it looks like a picture of a silhouette of my face on the book cover. And it's an instant download, so you don't have to wait for the book to get delivered. You can download it and open it on any type of format that you want. Do you want to put it on this side?
Yeah, I'll put it behind, but why don't I move the computer closer?
Oh,
and then we can get a little personal with everyone.
All right.
For a little bit
Move
here.
the computer closer now that we're not waiting for paint to dry. Our cord is only so long here, so. Oh, there we go. Hello. I got an accent there all of a sudden. I don't know where that came from. Okay, this is. We'll have to move it once you're sitting in front. Oh, I can see the comments. This is great. All right.
Oh, hi, YouTube family. We made it. I'm glad you guys all made it.
We have to shove down again. Why does the camera go sideways?
I don't know.
All right, there we go. Hi, guys. Oh, so much easier to see the comments now.
Raggedy today.
Working raggedy. We're in like the stay home, like we're doing like the how gray can you get? Like
everyone, how long is everyone's hair? I want to know.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Do a thumbs up on this video if you are in dire need of a haircut, because I'm like gonna be at my knees before this is all over, and Philip and I are just turning more and more gray here. I don't know where all this gray hair is coming from, but
I just had a little line of gray, and I don't know where all this came from, but underneath is still black. So if I just trim the front bit, I can still have. I don't know.
So Rebecca Burton says selling the cutouts only. Yeah, so I am working on right now being able to have actual stencils and decals and vinyl stenciling that you guys can purchase on the Etsy shop to be able to do your own creative projects. So working on it. We're just waiting for supplies, because that's the theme of the world right now.
That's the name of the game.
That's the name of the game. So yeah, we're thanks, Cheryl. Miss you. Yeah, so it's super exciting. We have a lot of things that are launching, and I'm really, really excited. So I want to hear from you guys always, whether it be through Instagram, direct message, through email, on our comment section, during our lives, like wherever you can get a hold of us. Let us know what it is that you're looking for specifically, because if you're wanting to have these items, I want to make sure that the stuff that I'm offering is what you guys really want. Do you want more designs you can instantly download? Do you want stencils to make your own projects? Do you want finished tangible items? I know you guys are looking for paintbrushes and apparel merch. So
can you do custom stencils if somebody wants a custom stencil? They can they can email you and you can do the So on Etsy, there's a little tab that you can click to request a custom order. And so if you're looking for a specific stencil, that will be an option. And so right now, the only thing that's holding me back from implementing and enabling these things on our Etsy is I don't have
all of the supplies here. I'm waiting on supplies. And so as soon as the supplies are here and they're in my hand, I can click, you know, active listing, and all of that will be there for you guys. So yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait for it to happen. I know that we've had to halt it based on shipping times coming from Canada have been forever. I know Wendy Pierce, one of our YouTube family members, sent a package for us. Thank you so much, Wendy. I know that you have to work early and that you're not in the live right now, but you'll probably watch this later. The boys and Philip and I love the gift that you sent us all the way from Australia. And I know that it took several weeks for that package to get here. And so shipping is so slow right now that if I left my Etsy shop open to send parcels, not only would we have to leave the house and, you know, not stay safe and healthy, possibly, but shipping is taking so long right now with the world issue. So it was just best to be able to keep that. Yeah. What type of wood do you use? I usually use pine, Eileen. That's usually where I can get the most economical. I know a lot of people do really gorgeous signs using sanded smooth plywood. And if I need to make a sign that's on a larger scale than some of the ones I can get for the width of pine, then I will use the sanded smooth plywood like this nice sign that's behind me on the wall here. Oh, where am I pointing? Oh, where's my finger? Oh, there. Wait, there we go. The camera's reversed. So this sign here was done on a sanded smooth plywood because I needed to make it 2 feet by 3 feet, and I wasn't able to get a piece of pine that was that wide. That was, you know, in a good price point. So I went to the sanded smooth plywood option. So see if I can. Oh, I always turn this the wrong way. Are you in? Yay, there we go. So yeah, yes, Sherry Phoenix, I braid my hair too. Usually you see I have, you know, the 2 braids, or I have a French braid down the back because especially when I'm working with the power tools or working outside and it's windy or something, it's nice to have the hair tied back. So, stencils, stickers, I'm trying to read. There's also a link on our Etsy shop in the description. Yeah, so all of the link for all of our social medias and our Etsy or anything is all in there. And then Alicia stencils piece. Okay, Julianne, I'm working on it. I've got a whole bunch of designs ready to launch for you guys. So Janie, right now I don't have reusable stencils. The problem with reusable stencils is, well, there's a couple different problems. The material that I need to make the stencils is incredibly difficult to get, and it's really expensive. And so if I'm going to sell a reusable stencil, it's got to be a design that I know that someone is going to want to make time after time after time. And I don't think that there's very many stencils. Like the word welcome would be great because that would be something that would be common that someone might want to make in batches. Problem is the mylar material that I need to be able to make that 5 or 6 foot long welcome would be so expensive that it's so much more economical to be able to just buy the contact paper and print it a couple more times. Not as eco-friendly, mind you, but I'm still using plastic either way. So it just depends on what's better. I obviously like to go with the more eco aspect usually, but then when you're creating something to remake, you need to be able to make it in the budget to have the profit margin as well. So it's kind of, you can't win kind of either way. So the Christmas tree truck. Yes. So you guys, I've had a lot of emails this week for people asking me about what items I'm going to be offering for Christmas, which is crazy because it's May. No. And I actually have been thinking about what options I'm going to offer for Christmas this year. If you missed my ornament video that I did this year, I did some amazing like upcycled ornaments, which were sold out the first or even the morning of the second day of my craft show that I did this year. I couldn't have made enough of them, which I was really excited about. So I'm definitely going to be offering some ornaments. I have some new ideas, and the Christmas tree, the Christmas red vintage truck will be back for sure this year, which I hand scroll saw cut out. I want to offer a bunch of other things that you guys can do to make your own kits like that and put everything together. So yeah, the coupon code at home with Amy Lynn is YouTube Family. So, and if it doesn't work, you can just purchase it through, and then I will reimburse you the 20% on my end, because I know twice last week someone had a problem with the code, but I reset it, so I'm hoping that it works for you. But just know that if you process it through and it doesn't give it to you, I'll make sure I refund on my end. So, yeah, that should save you 20% if you use YouTube Family. I buy 2 packs of stickers, yeah. Yeah, so I'll work on stickers. I don't have stickers right now, and I actually can't make the stickers myself. Especially at this time, so I will work on having stickers, yeah. Crystal, I love your pup and your YouTube family emoji that you have. It looks so cute. I'm going to make some more emojis now that we have access to more. And then, yeah, so the stencil options and things like that we're talking about for the Etsy is all stuff that I want to be able to offer and do, like, with the shop that I want to build in the back. And so I think that it will be, oh, okay, it isn't working. Okay, I will reset it at home with Amy Lynn. I just reset it the other day, but Etsy's funny sometimes, so I will go on and do it. If you want to purchase it through, or you can wait till later on tonight, and I will update it for you. Bijon's. Okay, yeah, Sandy, I've been to Bijon's before. I'll take a look. You were conscious about not wasting. Yes, Jana, I tried to be conscious about not wasting things, and it's really difficult to be. Oh, do you got your t-shirts on? Aww. The boys are wearing the t-shirts that one of our YouTube family members, Wendy Pierce, sent the boys. Oh, can you back up a little bit? I know they want to see your face, but then you can see your t-shirt. She sent these all the way from Australia for the boys, and they fit them perfectly, and they loved them. They were super excited that they came. They were hoping maybe that next time she sends them a kangaroo. We'll have to tell Wendy next time send you a kangaroo or a koala or something, right? Say hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Say hi, YouTube family.
Hi, YouTube family. Thanks, Wendy.
Aw.
Wendy.
They thought that was super fun that we had packages come in from Australia.
Look at there.
But there's the camera at the top, right?
I'm looking at the
comments.
Yeah.
As you can see, all of us need haircuts, and our boys are dying to get their haircut because they usually have their hair cut nice and short, and they're growing. They have my fast-growing and Philip's fast-growing hair, so.
Not
right?
my beard, though, yet.
No beards yet.
Yeah.
Right? Aw, super fun. Are you guys listening to the live in the other room? Oh, not this time? Okay. I think Nana was on, so you can call her tomorrow. Oh, there's Nana. Nana's writing. She says, you guys look amazing. Thanks, Wendy. They love the colors, and they fit them perfect. You can call Nana on the phone later. She says hi. Say hi. You want to say I love you to everybody? They're up past their bedtime tonight. Every time we do it live, they score themselves some extra hangout time, right? Yeah. Okay. Super fun.
Okay, big smile.
Yeah, so, oh, Elaine, I'll have to look and see. Yeah, 2 foot by 2 foot is, 26 Canadian dollars. So that would be a pretty expensive reusable stencil plus shipping. So I'm going to look into the Mylar and see if I can do it in a different way. Night, Betty. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
Shave it all off. I know, Crystal, I just can't do it. So when I worked in childcare, kids would come in all the time with their head shaved. And when they did, that usually meant that they had a head lice or something. And so for me, every time I see a little kid with their head shaved, I think, oh no, they must have had bugs or something. And I just can't do it. It's like this, thing in my head that I just can't get over. So my mother-in-law probably...
Dave will not let you
There's
shave
no way
his head. He loves his hair.
Yeah, he wouldn't let you.
They both have amazing hair, so it would be a shame to.
They go to an amazing barber that they've been going to since they were babies, and he does a great job on their hair, but we obviously haven't been able to go for a while, so, right? You just watching yourself in there?
Yeah.
Looking handsome?
He's reading everything.
Oh, you're reading all the comments. So Dayton, both of our boys, Dayton is 8 and Chase is 10. But they are both exceptional good readers. And so as the chat goes, they will sit in the other room and listen to our live, and they can read so well that they don't really miss much. So they'll tell us at the end, so-and-so said this or so-and-so said that. But, yeah, our boys are very bright. They can read really well. You boys are credit to your manners go long. Oh, there you go. Took scissors and a comb to my guys. I know, I just can't. I cut Chase's hair a couple times when he was really little, maybe 2 or 3, but I'm not a barber. I mean, it didn't look bad.
No, it looked really good. You were really good at it.
They have a barber that they absolutely love going to, and it's not that far from our house, so we can't wait for it to be open again, and then they can, yeah. Dayton would like his hair long. If we didn't ever cut it, he wouldn't care, but Chase likes his cut nice and short.
I like mine short. He likes his really long.
Yeah. I'm just going to see this here. Okay. Oh, thank you, Dammy P1.
Aww, for Chase and Dayton.
So Chase and Dayton, we're going to be looking, we were looking this last week, but it seems to be a lot of them have been sold out. Just, I guess a lot of people home looking for something to do, but the boys were saving to get a metal detector. You can say thanks for the donation.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Dammy P1.
There you go.
So what is it going to go to, guys?
What are you going to go? What are you excited about that you're going to get?
we are excited because we are going to save up the money for metal detector.
Metal detector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to see what's in our backyard.
Yeah, they want to
Maybe
see.
do some more adventuring with it. Maybe when all this is over.
Yeah. They're looking at there's a lakefront marina about 7 or so minutes from where we live, and they really want to take a metal detector to go around the whole beach area and see if they can find any treasures. And there's some really cool trails there that they want to go to, and there's a bunch of cool like heritage sites that they want to go and just see if they can find anything cool that maybe is left behind. Aw. Good reading, buddy. And so, yeah, they're super excited. And when we first moved into our house, Philip and I found that the owners of this house had buried quite a few things in the backyard where we had actually done our garden. And so they think that there might be some cool treasures in our backyard. So we're going to let them dig up the backyard and order them a metal detector to check everything out. So, and Nana and Papa said that they would purchase the second metal detector so they could go on adventures together, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So super fun. So we're just waiting for the one that
Wendy
they wanted.
Pierce.
Hi, Wendy. We were just talking about you. They look great in their shirts and they fit perfectly. Thank you so much. Trying to show? Good job. Oh, he's standing back so you can see, Wendy. Super fun.
You gotta come over here.
They were very excited, Wendy, when they saw the package come. They knew just who it was from. Super fun. She's made a. I thought you were supposed to be sleeping because you have to work, Wendy. Yeah, so I think VIP, I think they've been wanting to do the metal detector for a long time, so I think it's going to be super fun for them. So we're just waiting for the one that they really want. It keeps being sold out online, so we're hoping that we can check again this week and see if we can get it. Maybe have to order it from somewhere else if we can't get it from there. So, Julianne Eden says her brother does metal detecting and has found. Oh, thank you, Sherry Phoenix.
Thank you.
Aww,
Thank you.
Thanks, Sherry Phoenix.
Aw.
Thank you, Sherry.
If you all shave your heads, we're not all gonna shave our heads. Bunky Workshop.
Yeah. No. What?
Woohoo! Can you pronounce all names? Yes, he can. Yep.
It's some of them are kind of hard, but
Like on the shirt.
On the shirt, can you pronounce all the names on the bottom? Maybe not from upside down. You'll have to stand in front of Chase and read Chase, and Chase can read you. They're trying to read it upside down now, Wendy, because he's wearing the shirt. Yeah, so Linda Lacey, that would be a super cute idea to create a time capsule. I remember when I was in public school, our school had us create a time capsule, and I wonder whatever happened to them because I don't remember where we buried them, but there are time capsules somewhere that we made when we were kids, so I think it would be really fun for the boys to create something and be able to bury it, so... Jason Dayton, you're so handsome. Aw, thanks, Andy.
thank you. Thanks.
She lives in Australia, too. Yeah, so, Tina, we're looking at getting them one of the metal detectors that they were looking at. Oh, thank you, Crystal.
Thank you.
Aw.
Thanks, Crystal.
So cute. Thank you. The one that they're looking at, they'll be able to actually get wet just along just the front of the water where we live. Which I think will be really neat because a lot of the places that we go hiking with them or that we go fishing, then it won't matter if the end of the metal detector gets wet. It won't be one that they can like go in the water with, but definitely they'll be able to get it wet and see what kinds of treasures they can find. They've been watching quite a few YouTubers that VIP.
Bunky, because Bunky wanted us
all to shave our heads.
VIP's like, nice try.
Do you want me to shave your head? No.
I didn't know what you meant.
Aw. So yeah, it's super fun. They're excited. They've been wanting to figure out if they can find some treasures for a long time. They've been watching, with your metal detectors, we'd be able to find she wants you to find out what the secret is for her with the metal detector.
Oh, Wendy wants some clues.
Wendy, we're telling everyone at the beginning of the live that we actually are going to find out the secret a day earlier than we planned. So we're going to actually be able to reveal the secret on Friday instead of Saturday this week. So we only have a couple more, as the boys say, a couple more sleeps before we can reveal the secret, right?
We don't really say that.
No, well, you used to say that when you're... Oh, thank you,
Deborah.
Thank you. So Yeah, super fun.
We're going to do metal detecting in no time.
Yeah. We're going to do an update on our map this week. I know some people are asking to see our map, so we're going to do an update. We'll have to get you guys to do that update for everybody. Maybe we'll do a live later this week, and you can show where all of your pins are.
So if you go on the typing, there should be like a voice thing when you go on the typing thing, and then you can just say it.
Oh, thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy.
Oh, thanks, Sandy.
Dane's saying that at the bottom there's a little microphone, and if you don't want to type what you want to put in the chat, you can just talk into it, and then it will type it for you. That's what Dayton likes to do. Right, Dave?
Well, I don't do that that much, but I sometimes do it if I don't know how to spell it.
But Wendy thinks that you're going to tell her the secret, but you're a pretty good vault, aren't you?
Yeah.
Dayton's a good secret keeper. They've kept a secret for almost a month, I think, right?
Thanks, Sandy McKenzie Lumber Mill. That's amazing.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
that's absolutely beautiful.
You guys are awesome.
The kids are going to love it.
Yeah. Yep. That's so much fun.
Aww. The boys love to...
Maybe a certain time we'll go to our favorite fishing spot.
Yeah, take it to your favorite fishing spot.
Absolutely.
So the boys have a fishing spot that we go to, and they call it their fishing spot because it's their favorite place. And they do a really amazing catching fish there because they both love to go fishing a lot. And it's super fun to get there, and it's just like a perfect little spot to picnic and have fishing. And yeah, so that would be a great spot to take your metal detector, right? Yeah, your thumbs up. Dayton's all about the thumbs up. Oh, Tin Mystery Man saying pizza. Oh no, he's always teasing us with food.
Pizza.
Super fun.
Sandy will not tell you if it's a puppy or not.
They're trying to guess, Day. Nana and Papa don't even know. No, Nana just said they haven't even told Nana and Papa the secret.
We won't tell you anything.
We were telling our YouTube family that we had such a nice time yesterday on our porch.
Lois, we have somewhat finished the porch, but we are going to do flooring. And we're going to do some things to put in the porch.
Yeah, so we're going to do, when my pillowcases and a few things I ordered for the porch arrive, we're going to do a porch decor video. So you're going to see everything all put together. And then actually staged up and decorated up the porch. And then I have a few little DIYs that I want to make for a few things on the porch. So we'll probably show you guys that too, because I know you guys are going to want to see exactly what we're making for the porch. And our garden's going to be coming up soon. And then I also have to finish painting some of the spots that we already painted. I need to do another coat of white. And then I still haven't painted the inside door sill. If you shake the table, Speedy, it shakes the computer because he's trying to read and he's shaking the... So yeah, we have a little bit more painting to do, but other than that, the construction of the porch is done. We also want to paint the whole interior part of the porch to be white as well.
Thank you.
Keith Bowes. From Springfield, Illinois.
Thanks,
Thank
Keith
you.
Bowes.
Thanks, Keith.
Thank you. Thank you.
You boys need to start a metal detecting channel with Dad, Wendy says.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Dane's all over that. He's wanted to do his own with a channel with some of his treasure hunting, right?
I think that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
For sure.
Video. Yeah, so the porch is turned out so amazing. I'm thrilled with it. I think the yellow door looks really nice. We actually spoke to one of our neighbors who said we could borrow their super tall ladders so we can get the rest of the shutters down, because right now I think we're in the mindset that we're going to leave the shutters off because it's looking really, really, really good without the shutters. So I may put them back in. I may put them, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I think I'm going to leave them off. So new couch for the living room. No, so we don't have a new couch for the living room. We have really, really nice leather, all Canadian made sofa and love seat in our living room that we absolutely love. And we were able to get that vintage yellow couch for only $10 at an auction. Remember we came in with the yellow couch? Dayton's favorite color is yellow, so he thought that yellow couch was the best, right, Dave? So Dayton's the inspiration for doing yellow on the porch. And we also like to grow a lot of sunflowers, right? So we thought that the yellow would be really nice for our outdoor space. So Dayton thinks that's super fun.
One of my favorite duck stuffies actually we found in an auction.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just admitting the chat for a second. There we go. I need to appoint someone to do some admin for us on our chat. So if I send you a message, then just let me know if it's something you're Yeah, any moderators, VIP. I need to figure out how to do moderators for the chat for sure. If you know how to do that, could you send me an email so I can figure out how to appoint someone moderator for us when we do our lives? Oh, it's still going. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Oh, there we go. It was moving while I... Yeah, there we go. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's why we need a moderator there. Yeah, so Sandy, the boys like to grow sunflowers around the perimeter of their trampoline, which makes it look super nice, right?
Yeah.
And they have competitions on who can...
Thank you,
Holloway handbag, it says.
Thank you, Holloway handbag.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Holloway
Boys to have candy and a bone for the dog. Oh, yeah, and she has Bassets, right? From Bassets to your... That's super fun. How many Bassets do you have? I forget how many you told me that you have. Can you, under your dog, dig holes and Mom can find the treasures? So, Wendy, the boys actually had a super fun idea. They thought it would be really cool if they metal detected and found treasures, and then Daddy and I, Philip and I, would have to turn those into
a project.
A project.
And a treasure. So
Yeah.
we turn maybe treasures into better treasures. Or trash into treasures.
Yeah. So he thought that would be super cool if we could figure that out.
And I think that would be
That was
awesome.
the boys' idea.
That was the boys' idea, and I think
Will
it's
we put
such
it
a good
on
idea.
this channel, or will we put
Put
it on another
new
channel?
I think we would put it on this channel,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We already do
But
trash
also,
and treasures, right?
it might demonetize this channel because it's in each episode of us doing it is the
Oh,
kid.
like having
Us.
voice.
yeah.
So what he's talking about is YouTube has policies on having your content made for kids or not. So he was just saying that he doesn't want this channel to get demonetized if we have the boys on the channel too much.
Yeah.
So
And
yes.
so if we made another channel, we would probably tell you guys what the channel would be called.
Right, for sure. If we had
Yeah.
another channel, we would share with them what it was called so they could follow your
Oh,
journeys,
yeah.
right? Right.
We could put it on
So,
my channel,
Dayton-
then it doesn't matter.
Dayton is Dayton and Chase both love YouTube, and they're very knowledgeable about YouTube and different things that you can do on YouTube, and all about all the policies on YouTube and how to grow a channel. And yeah, they're very right. They
Diana
really like YouTube.
Higginson, what are your Bassets' names?
Oh,
I want to
2
know.
Bassets.
Yes.
And Holloway Handbag has 4 Bassets.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So there was a picture on
4
Instagram.
puppies to love? Could you imagine, boys?
There was a picture on Instagram the other day, and I tagged Philip, and it was someone that was hiking, and they had, was there like 11 or 12
Yeah.
Bassets? And I
There's
wrote
so
Philip,
many.
and I was like, future us, because we think our pup is just great. So one day we'll have like 20 or something. Bassets are so fun.
They're so wrinkly and small and cute.
Aw. Chan Mystery Man's always teasing us with food, mac and cheese.
He just wants to get me hungry every time. That must be what he's eating. He's like, I'm on pizza, and now I'm on mac and cheese.
Super fun.
What next are you gonna do? Burgers?
We will be later on this week revealing our secret,
Yes.
which is so exciting. We are
Yes.
really excited. But these guys are super excited about the surprise. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So stay tuned because they think they know what the surprise is, but
Wendy
I might
Pierce,
have some surprises up my
Philip
sleeve.
has a pizza pregnant tummy. Boys, Wendy knows me more than she thinks she knows me, eh?
Aw. A VIP says, hiking with a Basset? Haha, question. How? I know. Our boy will go like a block and a half and then he just lays there. Silly boy.
And then we have to like pick him up because he's really heavy,
Yeah.
and then carry him home.
Sandy, if you knew anything about Bassets, you would know that G. Lewinsky right now is sleeping and he is out for the count.
He has a new dog bed, and he never tells me when it's time for bed. He'll just wait till we go to bed, and then he'll go to bed with Philip and I. And he lays usually on like this pillow poof beside my side of the bed. Philip's is against the wall, so he usually just lays on my side. So he'll lay with Philip for a little while, and then he'll go lay beside me on the floor on his little poof. yesterday
Make sure you don't tell Gunnar that.
Yesterday we were still awake and we were watching some shows, and he went in the other room basically to tell me, like, why are we still up? We need to go to bed, because he was tired. So he's starting to tell us now. Cohen, thank you for buying my book. That's great. I hope you enjoy it. No, so you don't need a permit to do the...
Make sure you say Lewinsky instead of...
Or your pup or something, yeah.
Or your pup,
so our last 2 lives that we did got demonetized because we were saying the name of our dog. That's why we keep saying our pup or our dog or G. Lewinsky or something like that, because when we say his actual name, YouTube flags it like we're not following policies on YouTube, because they think that we're talking about, like, pew-pews, and we're not talking about the pup.
They think we're talking about...
Okay, don't say it out loud.
Don't say it.
I thought you were going to say it. I'm like, don't get us demonetized again. Sherry has a 90-pound Doberman and a 70-pound boxer, both girls. They're more weight than you and Chase.
Those are big puppies,
Amazing.
but gorgeous puppies.
Yeah. Super fun. It's amazing. Let us know in the comment section if you have dogs or cats, or if you have both. So we have 2 cats and we have 1 pup. So let us know what you guys have. And Tan Mystery Man's talking about pickle pizza now, so we're gonna... Super fun. Winsome Woman Wonder said, sounds like another project for the pup walking wagons. I just said, I'm like, we need a wagon. Super fun. All right, we are going to wrap it up for the night.
Maybe go make some pickle pizza.
Maybe go make some pickle pizzas.
Or if that's really what you're eating.
We have a video for you guys tomorrow, so make sure to check our channel tomorrow. We're getting creative tomorrow, doing something that I think that many of you will have these supplies to do at home and be able to create your own. So watch our video tomorrow. I know we've had so many people viewing our videos and lots of new YouTube family members. So if you're on our chat right now and you are not already subscribed to our channel, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. Join our YouTube family. We want to say thank you, genuinely, from the bottom of our heart, for everyone who comes out and hangs out with us on our live chats. And
I think we had over 500 people at one point, and 400 steady throughout the night, and that's
amazing.
Absolutely amazing and beautiful. And we love our YouTube family. And we love all of you for taking the time out of your day and come and spread a little joy with us. Mm-hmm. And that makes our lives so much more happier and so fulfilled. We love it.
Thank you guys also for any of the donations on our channel, sending super chats and everything. It really helps us to create awesome content that we work really hard to be able to make for you guys. So we appreciate the support. And
if you want to hit the membership, you can.
I'm going to get him in business marketing when he's older.
That's good. If you want to hit the membership, you can.
You can.
And you will get special emojis.
Yeah, and you get special emojis.
Like D-Dog.
You're adorable.
Like the D-Dog.
Super fun.
Like the
So yes, thank you so much. And thank you so much for the donations. That money that you guys put towards metal detectors or for the boys, that goes to the boys for their projects. So that money doesn't go to Philip and I, it goes directly to the boys.
If you say it goes to the boys, it goes 100% to the boys.
Yeah. So they have money aside from our other live that we did, right?
Yeah.
Super fun. Please cock the holes. Yeah, so we'll be doing all that, Mimi B. We'll show you guys that in some of our upcoming videos. So thank you so much. If you haven't already hit like on this video, please hit like. Thank you so much to everyone who's sharing our videos with people that you think that will enjoy it or who you think might want to be part of our YouTube family. Thank you for being part of our journey that we're on. Thank you again to Wendy for the awesome t-shirts from Australia. And, we've been getting a lot of mail from you guys, our YouTube family, lately, and it's so exciting when we go to the mailbox and we have letters and cards and
so much love.
So much love from you guys, and thank you so much for taking the time. So thanks, Crystal, always for your support. And
thanks, Crystal.
We will see you guys on tomorrow's video. I hope you have the great rest of your Sunday evening or morning, whatever time it is with you guys. So we love you guys. We're doing the all four family support. Love you guys so much, and we will see you on tomorrow's video.
We love you.
Love you.
Love ya. Bye.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
See ya.
How do I do this again?
Okay, so
I don't
I
want to
would
do
wait
this
a
wrong
bit,
this time.
wait a
Okay, I'm
minute,
gonna
yeah.
leave it for a minute. Okay.
and then it
Love you
doesn't
guys.
cut off.
Good job.
Bye.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
It's fun to talk to our YouTube family, right?
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay. So what do I do with this?
I would just wait a minute until it
Okay.
catches up
We'll
here,
wait.
and then
Oh,
we'll
because
end it.
yeah, it's okay. Last time I cut off the chat super early by closing the program, so I'm gonna let you guys have a second to say goodbye
night,
to your
84
friends on
Parsons.
there. And
Later, buddy. Good night, Sherry. Good
Night,
night, Cassie Bradley. Good night, Damie P1.
Night,
Good night,
Winsome Wonder.
Lois. Good night, Winsome Woman Wonder.
night, Damie AP1.
Good night, VIP.
Bye, everyone.
Good night, Damie P1.
Good night, everyone.
Good
See
night,
ya.
everyone.
Good
Or
job.
good morning, whatever time it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are. Good night, Chris Prescott. Lower.
Night, VIP.
What a great night.
So fun. Okay. Do I stop here?
Yeah, you can stop.